This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions in this video and comments on this podcast do not reflect or represent the views and opinions on this podcast platform.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. Well, it's April Fool's Day, and I got some bad news for y'all. This is going to be the last recording. Until next week. April Fools.
Yeah, you ain't getting nobody with that one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Y'all know, I hope y'all be that compliant with this topic. Everybody was all in sync and ain't no one said nothing. And okay, since y'all just let's keep the same energy. All right, April Fool's Day, also known as All Fool's Day. Yep. And you guessed it. We got a bunch of fools running the country, and guess what? We're gonna talk about them tonight. First up, we're gonna do this in accordance to the proverbs regarding foods. So because it's All Fools Day, we're gonna use all the proverbs referring to fools. And I did something like real cute with this. Like I tried to make it coincide, so I hope y'all like it. All right. Let's see. We are going to go to the first one. Question number 1. According to ancient proverbs, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, shame on both you and me. I don't know, the last part sounds like we're going to have a problem. But here's the question. Question number 1. Is it foolish for the American people to feign outrage now that the white knight has brought both suffering and tyranny to the American land? Let's go to the ladies first. Patsy, what do you say?
No, because you're just as foolish as he is.
Okay. Short, sweet, right to the point. Tanya, let's get what you're feeling about this.
Oh, he showed you he lacked wisdom the first time around. So shame on him. You got food once, shame on him. You got food twice by voting him back in, shame on you. You didn't learn nothing from the first time. You didn't glean. You didn't self-reflect. You went for a second dose, and now you facing the FAFO.
Let's go to Itama. How you feel about it? Is it foolish for the American people to feign that they are upset now that the white knight has brought both pain, suffering, and tyranny to the American land?
I mean, the foolish doesn't take counsel, so they don't listen. They think they know it all in the pride, and that's how they end up in the predicament they end up in. So, yeah.
Okay. Bird, you with us?
Yeah,
All right. Same question.
I don't know. I mean, first off, I guess, are we talking about Trump when you say the white knight?
Yep.
I don't know what kind of tyranny and whatever you guys are talking he's brought to our nation, but I'm a Trump supporter. He's going to clean up this country and clean up these other countries that been doing us dirty and owe us money that nobody else is doing. So bring it on, Trump.
Okay. Gregory, what do you say?
And what was the question even again? I forgot the question because it's just foolish. What has he done to ruin this country or bring tyranny? All I hear is a bunch of liberal tears. These are the people that's crying. Everybody that's crying isn't the people that voted for him. It's the people that didn't vote for him out there shaming people for driving Teslas and shit. This shit is wild. These people are crazy. Shame, shame, shame. You bought a Tesla before Trump was the damn president. You crazy motherfuckers.
Okay. Sean, same question.
Raise me that question one more time. I want to hear it in its entirety.
Is it foolish for the American people to feign outrage now that the white knight has brought both suffering and tyranny to the American land?
Not foolish at all because it's happening now. And in order for us to have any changes or anything that's going, we got to speak up. So it's not foolish. If it's happening now, you need to react now.
All right. Before we go on to the next question, did everybody get a chance to answer that question, or did they want to basically give a rebuttal?
I like to say I agree with Sean.
All right. We're going to go to the next question. Question number 2. We are going to go to the ladies first. Ladies, turn your mic on. We are going to go to Tanya first, then Patsy, then Itima. Tanya, here's question number 2. Is it foolish to believe that a tyrant would choose to be anything less than what they have shown themselves to be? What do you say?
Repeat that one more time.
Is it foolish to believe that a tyrant would choose to be anything less than what they have shown themselves to be?
I don't think that is foolish, but people, it's like what Itama said is that the foolish don't take correction. And so they lack wisdom. And they're stiff-necked, meaning that they're proud, they think they're always right, nobody can tell them any different. So unless they have a coming to Jesus moment, that's the only way that it won't be foolish to think that they can change. But if they're going to continue to think they're always right and can't see the forest for the trees and going to continue to deny, then yes, it is foolish to think that they're going to change.
Patsy?
Well, I'm going to quote Forrest Gump on this one. My mama always says, stupid is as stupid does. And, you know, stupid people will never change.
The irony of Mama Gump to tell her poor baby.
I like
boy.
that. That was good.
Okay, Itima, let's get your perspective. Is it foolish to believe that a tyrant would choose to be anything less than what they have shown themselves to be?
I agree with the panel.
Okay. All right, gentlemen. Let's go to Gregory first. Same question, Gregory.
I'm gonna quote the great George Washington Carver Bush Jr. Fool man can't be fooled again.
Bert?
I don't believe he's a tyrant. I believe he's a businessman that's running a business.
Okay. Robert, same question.
Well, some people go to the circus to see a good show. Some of them are fooled by the acts and the tricks. It's like going to go see magic. But this dude, on the other hand, he tells you and he delivers his ruling the world tactics, being a king or a tyrant. So if you're foolish to believe you're going to see anything other than what he already displayed, who he really is, and he said what he's going to do, you're a fool.
Sean, is it foolish to believe that a tyrant would choose to be anything less than what they have shown themselves to be?
Based on what we're speaking on, this individual has shown us who he was since day one. And like Sister Tanya said, unless he has a coming to Jesus moment, this this leopard ain't changing his spots.
Nope.
And can I add to why I said if you fool me, I can't be fooled again? This is why we didn't vote for Camilla. I'm tired of being fooled.
I have a rebuttal.
Go ahead.
Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. He has shown us from day one that he's a racist. He has shown us that he is a dictator. He has shown us that he doesn't care about democracy. He has shown us that he is only about himself and money. I would like to know how he is going to pull this country together when all he run this country like a company, when all his companies has failed and he has nothing but a cabinet of billionaires. How can they work for the people when they haven't even gone through what the people have gone through? They don't
He
even.
also showed us all that
I'm
money
not
that they
done
were
speaking.
stealing.
I'm not done speaking. They have not shown, they can't even relate to how we live day to day. They don't even know what the price of groceries is because they don't even do their own shopping.
What does that have to do with anything?
It has a lot to do with it. It has a lot to do with it. You
He,
can't run the country like it's a business when there's people. When you run in a country like it's a business, all they care about is the bottom line. They don't care about the people or the humanity. They only care about the dollar.
he showed us all the money that we've been spending as taxpayers on a bunch of bullcrap.
Bullcrap that benefit the people.
And he also stopped the war from us having World War III.
He's
We got
creating
mass.
World War III.
No, it's not. The only people that's going down right now is Israel.
Okay. Let's go to question number 3. All right, ladies, turn your mic on. Itama, we're going to come to you first, so get ready. All right, this is a good one. Question number 3. A foolish person believes that they are never wrong, but a wise man knows that they are not always right. So, is Donald Trump's approach to mass deportation of illegal immigrants right or wrong? Itma.
I'm gonna say that right is right and wrong is wrong, right? So as far as that, that's like it's a hard little topic, but let's be real. You know what I'm saying? People need to come in here correctly. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so the way he's approaching it, that's how he's approaching it. I mean, it's not like he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's cleaning up house. He's cleaning up house, and it's like, what could you do if you was in here? If you was here, you should have did all the best things you could do to get yourself to be a citizen. You get what I'm saying? Or you should have entered the right way. So I mean, they knew things was coming. You know, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong.
Patsy, same question. Is Donald Trump's approach as it pertains to mass deportation of illegal immigrants right or wrong?
He's a little extreme in that sense. He could be wrong, but overall, he's not wrong about mass deportation. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You got more?
No, that's pretty much it. He's just like a little more extreme on it than most people would be.
Tanya, same question.
He's not wrong about wanting to get people out that came in illegally and didn't do it the right way. He's wrong about not having a plan and doing it and not having a plan to correctly get them out of the country. By what he's doing and allowing these people to just go like door to door and dragging people approaching people on the street because they wrote a paper in support of Palestine because of the humanity part of it, and taking them away, or arresting somebody because they had a tattoo that said mom and dad and sent them to El Salvador. And these people were here legally. Everyone, all these people who were taken and just accosted and taken and not knowing where they were going and going to El Salvador, they were here legally. And now they shipped over there and can't get back because they won't work to bring them. They know they made a mistake, but they won't do what they need to do to get them to come back. So he's wrong about that.
Did you guys see that commercial real quick? Sorry, D.
Go
That
ahead.
commercial that says that he came out say that says you know, if y'all report yourself, the people that are not like legally here, if they report themselves, then they will be helped to get back the legal way. But if they get caught, then there's no chance for them to come back. That they've been putting that commercial out. Have y'all seen it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But what that got to do with the people who were brought who was here legally and they took them out, and they're not trying to help them come back.
The El Salvadorian people empty their jails and let all those criminals come over here, but they won't release a person that they know is innocent. This is stupidness now. Now you're just gonna blame Trump, but they're not gonna release the prisoner, but they released all their prisoners to come over here.
Where's the proof in that? Where's the evidence?
What do you mean? The dude
Because
said
Trump and
the
his
dude said he was
administration is
releasing all
good
the
about
criminals to
saying that this is
come to
what people
America.
are doing, but they don't show the evidence. They don't show the evidence that is happening.
And then he got mad when he tried to send them back. He said, "Don't send them back on whatever you sending them back on. I'm gonna come and pick my people up." Did we forget that happened?
Let
That
me
really happened.
let me bring some other people into this conversation. But before we do, Robbie, get ready, because I'm coming to you next. So I also seen another commercial. So what I saw in this commercial was they said, "We know who you are, we know where you at, and we're coming to get you. So we could do it the easy way or the hard way."
Bad boys, bad boys.
That's what I'm saying. I was
What you gonna do?
kind of nervous. You know,
Right. They coming for you, David.
yeah, I was kind of nervous because if that's the way they treating them, who's next? But hold y'all thoughts, Robert. Let's get your perspective on it. Proverbs states that a fool believes that they are never wrong, but a wise man knows that they are not always right. So, is Donald Trump's approach right or wrong as it pertains to mass deportation of the illegal immigrants?
Yeah, I like the way Itama started off, so I'm gonna agree with the way she started off, and I'm gonna say I agree all what Tanya had to say and how her rebuttal was ongoing. I agree with them two sisters.
Beautiful. All right, Bird.
I don't think bringing on Trump. I'm cool with him coming after everybody. He's even going to Puerto Rico, kicking people out that don't belong over there. They've been taken from our country forever, and we starving as a country. Our poverty level, our homelessness level, our drug addiction. We're putting more money into outsiders than our own country. It's about time.
All right. Timmy, hold tight because I know you ready to go. We're gonna get Sean and then Gregory. Sean, let's get your perspective on this.
Fool is a fool. That's all I got.
Okay. Gregory?
These people were eating the cats and dogs, raping the kids. They were out here importing fentanyl to our cities. Is he wrong for doing what he's doing to get these? Look at that lady, the lunch lady looking lady. She just got caught with mad fentanyl and had the nerve to be crying, saying, "Why is she being deported?" It's nuts.
Okay. Timmy?
What one individual do doesn't it doesn't represent. Just like how we as black people feel like they're targeting us, that's how those people feel. And one bad apple doesn't spoil the whole goddamn race of people who are law-abiding citizens. So I think that's a bunch of nonsense, when you do that type of nonsense.
Yeah.
D, can I say something real quick?
Yes, you can.
I want to say this to our panel, and this is no slight because I don't have any beef with Trump or those that like him, love him, or whatever the case may be. But what I do want you all to see is that right now he's doing this mass deportation of all illegal immigrants and this, and that, and the other. And those of you us that likes that's applauding that, this, and that, and the other, keep on applauding, because don't think that that's where it stops.
Right.
Because later on down the line, it's going
Tell
to
it like it
trickle
is.
down to us, to
Tell
where
it
they're
like
now
T.I. is.
we're going to get back into that world of the stop and frisk
That is
and
fair
search
monger.
and seizure. There ain't no fear money. Here's what individuals, and I'm just going to call it like I see it. Individuals like you, Gregory, you listen to the clickbait stuff, and you get caught up on what you're reading in the papers or hearing on the news and this and that and the other, and ain't looking at all these oh man, I lost the word. All these things that he's in court trying to get
to try to get to pass to where he's bringing us all the way back to the 60s. You all don't see that. And how you don't see that is asinine to me.
Because I want
Because
to know what
Shane,
you're talking about exactly. What has he
it's a
signed that
mirage.
back to
It's
the
a
60s?
mirage.
Hold
Could you
on,
tell
hold on,
me
hold on.
that,
Hold on, let me
that
stop you real
back to
quick. Let me stop you real quick. Timmy, you did not hear us. So tonight, if we're trying to let people finish saying what they're saying so they can be heard. So if you have the need to really interject, put it in the chat. Gregory has the floor. Go ahead, Gregory.
No, I was just saying, if you can show me the documents of him trying to bring us back to the 60s and people actually falling for what you're saying.
I'm gonna do just that just for you because there's executive orders left and right that you clearly aren't aware of that's going on. See,
Well, I just would like to know off the top of your head
I'm
because I'm not aware of them, but you
no,
seem
I'm
very.
gonna give you nothing up to. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna give you all the executive order. He's in court right now for 147 executive orders that are being shut down left and right. That's taking us back. That he's trying to take. I mean, look what he's doing to scratch the DEI. Look what he's doing to the Department of Education. Look what he's
We
doing to
already
the.
talked
And I'm
about
still.
this stuff. Department of Education takes all our taxpaying money and doesn't
Stop,
do
stop,
nothing.
stop
We're
it,
like
stop it.
50,
But
53rd or something on
what?
the list of
And
intelligent people.
you're looking at that. But what the you're looking at? That's what they're giving you the feed off
That's the
to talk
truth.
about the money. Hold on, relax for a little bit, Trump. What he's doing, what you're getting caught up in, is what they want you to see and not seeing the bigger picture to where it's he's pointing out all this money. That's what you keep bringing up. The money that was spending money.
I brought up
But
the
what
education level
are you
too,
gonna let
but
me
you
finish?
stuck on the
Let
money
me
part.
finish. I'm not stuck on the money. You just brought that up. I
I
brought up
said
the
something about the
education.
education level too.
And what about the education level? But here's the thing about the education level that you're not focusing on, that how it affects us to where they're going to start dictating what it is that we can and cannot learn. You don't. Are you even aware that they're even trying to wipe out our whole entire history of what we even contributed to this country?
They need to take
Little
that
kids,
Christopher
little
Columbus
boys in
stuff out.
school
That's
don't need to hear
definitely
they can
wrong.
be a girl.
You're talking about it. Go ahead, Dave. Go to your next part,
All
sir.
right, let me say this to y'all. I'm gonna go back to how this question started. It said a fool believes that they are never wrong, but a wise man knows that they are not always right. Just let that marinate. All right, we're going to go to question 4. Hold on, before we do, did everybody get a chance to answer question 3? All right, we're gonna move on. We are going to go to question number 4. I like it. I like it. I like it. Y'all passionate about this. This one should be good. Ladies, turn your mic on. All right. Itamar, are you with us?
Yeah.
All right. Question number 4. All right, this should be good. A wise man speaks because he has something important to say, but a fool speaks because they have a need to be heard. Which of these two best describe President Trump? Itzma?
Oh, me? Both
Yes.
of them.
Okay.
Both of them.
And you know what? I'm sorry, because there's more to this. Is which of these two best describe Trump as it pertains to his constant his social media posting and his unfiltered
televised interviews?
Yeah, to be honest with you, whatever I brief myself on certain stuff, you know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, I don't be following his stuff like that, so I can't really like comment, you know what I'm saying? I think I know the most important parts that I need to know, and I just try to keep it like that. Like I don't be following this man to see every word he puts out and stuff like that. I don't do that. So I can't really tell you. I can't answer that for you.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Tanya, question number 4. A wise man speaks because he has something important to say, but a fool speaks because they have the need to be heard. Which of the two best describes President Trump's compulsive behavior as it pertains to his social media and his unfiltered televised interviews?
I'm gonna say a fool because he needs to be heard. He's so vain. Everything is about him. It's not because he has something important to say. Because what he feels is important to say is all about how he's the greatest, how he's gonna make this country great again, and the policies and things that he's putting in place is making this country white again. It's not for us. It's not for us. It's for him, his people, the KKK, the neo-Nazis. That's my opinion.
Joe Biden's peoples.
Tanya, you finish?
I'm done.
All right, Patsy, you're up.
He's more foolish than wise because he says a lot of stuff just to hear his own voice talking. And there's very, very little that he can actually say that is of importance. It's about me, me, me. I want to do this and I want to do that. You know, it's very foolishness.
Right?
I'm surprised to hear we took it to a race situation for the white people. But then tell me why all the black people didn't rally up and vote and be a part of this election. They got a bunch of black people to vote for Obama. All these rappers rock to vote, blah, 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 let's get a black president. Ain't nobody rallying black people to vote against Trump. So he got voted in. He didn't fool you once. He fooled you twice. Shame on America. They know what they want. America has spoken. The people that matter voted. If you didn't vote, then you don't matter. You don't have a right to complain about what happened here if you did not vote. Our numbers are huge. If you got black people to vote and they all voted, then maybe Trump wouldn't be in office. Who knows? But he didn't fool you once. He fooled you twice, and he got in twice. He got elected twice. So he obviously got some kind of smarts to be dealing with prostitutes, to be a racist, to be everything everybody got to say about Trump. But he got elected not once, but twice. Figure it out, people.
Gregory?
And that's why I said they didn't fool us. Fool you once, can't get fooled again. That's the best quote for somebody that voted for him. Because like Bird just said, they had a whole bunch of rappers parading around, trying to get you to vote for Obama. And they tried to do the same thing with Camilla. And it didn't work this time. Because people's like, we're tired of this. So
they all the rappers wanted Trump because Trump was the one cutting all these guys the tax breaks they're looking for.
When you're doing a beheading, the person that's being beheaded is going to come back with a backlash that's going to be as loud as the beheading was. These people try to Disgrace this man's character in front of the world. So you think he's not going to be as loud as y'all was being when he was running for the president?
He disgraced his own character by the actions that he portrayed out there. And all those rappers who voted for him for the tax break was only thinking of themselves as well and wasn't thinking about the collective as a whole.
I mean, we're in a country where you better live or die. What are you gonna do?
All right. Robert, let's get your perspective.
To me, Trump is a magician. He trumped everyone, and he tends to continue to do it because he is more of a fool. He needs to be heard at all times. Self censor, everything's about piling up money in his bank account and leaving and be a wealthier man than what he is.
Sean, I'm going to give it to you again. A wise man speaks because he has something important to say, but a fool speaks because they have a need to be heard. Which of the two describes Donald Trump's compulsive behavior as it pertains to social media and his unfiltered televised interviews?
In my opinion, he's a wise fool. And I say that to the effect of Donald Trump has always what we see of this man, this is what he has always shown. So although I don't agree with any of his policies or anything like that, I didn't vote for him the whole nine. I do not dislike the man. I just don't rock with him. He's been who he's been. Those of us that have voted for him, looking for, thinking of what you believe he was running on, he ain't got you nowhere in mind at his end game. We're not even on that level of where he's trying to take this country to.
All right, we're going to go to question number 5. Ladies, turn your mic on. Okay. Itama, Tanya, Patsy, turn your mic on. Okay, here we go. Question number 5. A foolish man believes that apology shows weakness, but a wise man knows that this is a sign of strength. However, both the president and his cabinet remains unapologetic as it pertains to any executive orders, tariffs, and decisions regarding the government and the American business. Let's go to Itama first.
They fools, I tell you. Fools.
Okay. Patsy?
They're unapologetic because they don't care how those tariffs are really affecting the American people, because like the countries that they're saying, oh, we're gonna put tariffs on, they fail to realize that we are paying the tariffs because the money that we actually pay for stuff now that are imported are going to increase with the taxes and whatever else, because they're gonna have to put in the prices up because they're being the tariffs are going to increase, so they're gonna increase it to us, the consumer, and not really the businesses and the countries that are being forced into these tariffs. So they're actually forcing us to pay for those tariffs by being the consumer.
Tanya?
They are a bunch of unqualified fools. That's what I feel about it. As far as the tariffs is concerned, they call themselves putting tariffs on our allies, a higher tariff on the allies and a weaker tariff on the who we trade with our enemies like Russia and China, and and they in turn is just putting tariffs on us, and they're causing them to go and seek the products that they get from us. They're going to get from somebody else. So there ain't going to be no money coming in from that. We're going to be paying more for us as a people. Inflation is going to go high. We're going to end up going into a depression. The choices that they're making as far as military secrets on a signal chat that the enemies can get hold of and know how we move, even though they're doing their own reconnaissance, they're just leaving it blatantly out there. They're making us weak. They're making us weak and making us vulnerable. We're not strong. We're not the strong country that Donald Trump is trying to portray us to be, him and his administration. They are actually making us weaker as a country.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to give you the question again. Question number 5. A foolish man believes that apology shows weakness, but a wise man knows that this is a sign of strength. However, both the president and his cabinet remains unapologetic as it relates to any recent budget cuts, executive orders, tariffs, and government decisions regarding decisions regarding the government, the running of the government, because they believe this is what is best for America. Bert, you got it?
I got it.
Let's go.
Again, we're running a business. This tariffs, this goods, these services, this is all part of maintaining structure in our country and in the people that we deal with. It's a business. This ain't no personal. This is business. We're running a country. We want to make sure we get what we deserve as a country and stop letting other countries walk on us and use us. What are we going to spend $5 billion on a war with a country that we don't care about? We just want something from you. So all the other presidents, we're spending all this money, billions of dollars, and our country's starving. We're in debt. But we support other countries because we want to use them for what they have for us. But we're running a business. No one's talking about that.
Robert?
I have to do it again. I'm going to go ahead and agree with Patsy and Tanya this time around. And once again, Tanya is really strong on some key points.
Okay. Let's go to Gregory.
I agree with Bird. I feel like he had the strong key points, but once again, I think I said this before. Everything that you grew up seeing was mainly made in China and now or Mexico, and now it's being made from India and these people that we keep putting the money into their countries to help them do Lord knows what with it. When they show you the cuts that they're making, all the stuff that they're cutting is for stuff that's like nonsense in other countries. So who the hell is complaining about a budget cut that had nothing to do with people, and we're just spending senseless money on this stuff? Studies for weird stuff, completely weird stuff, transgender monkeys and stuff. Like who's studying this stuff? It sounds like the work of the devil. And we're gonna cry about this stuff getting cut out our budgets?
Sean?
His his views on tariffs and stuff like that, what's going to end up happening is I keep hearing the terminology that he's trying to run it like a business, and I get all that. But the ones that's going to end up paying for this business is the little people like you and I, those of us that are on this panel. We're going to see the effects of what his bigger picture is. And that's what I don't think that a lot of us see. You're looking at a big global picture of what the world, what America, what he wants it to be, and this, that, and the third. And what you're not seeing is that you weren't even a factor in the first America. What makes you think that we're a factor now? All this stuff that you believe that he's trying to do for America is not for all Americans. It's for that 1%.
Okay. Does anyone want to give a rebuttal before we move forward? All right. We're going to go ahead and take a commercial. And this episode is sponsored by EmporiumPlus.org. And we have a shirt that states, "A wise man can play the fool, but a fool shall never be wise." Robert, how can they purchase said shirt?
For all you fools in love. Nah. For the fools, go to EmporiumPlus.org, where you will find the latest fashions. And Emmy Forever, Still a Man, S.A.M, Adapto Parish, SOS Support, Our Sisters, Adapto Parish Ladies First, EmporiumPlus.org got a little merch, and that design or logo. For you viewers, you're still sneaking, you're still whispering, but we're gaining viewers. We would like to say we appreciate you that just joined us or subscribed. But tell a friend, keep subscribing, hit the thumbs up, the like button. We appreciate you.
Question number 6. Proverbs states that a fool in his money is soon parted. But Donald Trump states that this shall never, ever befall our great country, because both him and Elon Musk will bring an end to America's deficit, which is due largely in part to frivolous spending and governmental fraud. Ladies, turn your mics. Tanya, what do you say?
I say that we was in a surplus when Trump first came into office, and because of his tax credit agenda for the wealthy, he put us in a in a deficit of $8 trillion, I think, the first time, and then Biden was bringing us out of that deficit. And what they're trying to pass now in the House and the Senate for a budget is to to take us to $4 trillion in deficit, where it would take our children and our grandchildren and our children's grandchildren to pull us out of. So we are supposed to be leaving them a country that's in surplus to make it better for them when actuality is being made worse for them.
Patsy?
What was the question again?
A fool and his money are soon parted. But Donald Trump states that our great country shall never ever suffer such a fate because both him and Elon Musk will bring an end to the American deficit that is due largely in part to governmental fraud and frivolous spending.
Well, they're the ones that being fraudulent and deceitful, so therefore the little people like us, we're gonna suffer for their inequities.
Itama, what do you say?
I agree with the panel.
Okay. Okay. Bird?
Yes. Fool and his money shall soon part. I agree. But when they say they're going to bring the country back, I can only hope that two of some of the most successful businessmen that are running a business, which is the United States of America, can get us there. Bring it on, Trump.
Okay. Gregory?
I agree with Bird again.
Sean?
I agree with the first part of Bird's statement. The second part, we're going to have to see how this train runs after the 4 years are up.
I'm going to say the fool is going to be departed from his money. That's for sure. And I'm going to say this, that the two people that claim that they're running a successful business, again, one is selling secrets or selling favors to the highest bidder, and the other one is buying elections.
That is fear mongering. None of that stuff is true. This is alleged. You can't even say this stuff. Treason.
And to sum it up, what Tanya was saying, I just want to say this: they're gonna walk away wealthier than what they ever was because they are raping America's bank.
Bottom line. And that's what it's all about. That 1%.
Anybody else want to give something towards this, or can we move on to question 7?
7 it is.
All right, let's go. Question number 7. Is it foolish to believe that a wealthy man would champion the plight of the poor, subsequently ignoring the alluring call of prosperity? Let's go to Tanya.
Say that again, please.
Is it foolish to believe that a man of wealth would champion the plight of the poor, all along, ignoring the alluring call of prosperity?
No, it's not foolish to believe that. It all depends on his character. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Patsy?
I don't think it's foolish. Like Tanya said, it depends on their character. If he believes in prosperity for all, that's all and great. But if he's just trying to think about his own prosperity, then that's not a good situation for anyone.
Gentlemen, turn your mics on. Bird?
Yep.
You ready?
Yeah.
You got the question, or you need me to give it to you again?
Repeat it again. I was just trying to process the last answer that I think it was Patsy.
All right. Is it foolish to believe that a man of wealth would champion the plight of the poor, subsequently ignoring the alluring call of prosperity?
I think every rich person doesn't care about anybody else but themselves. You ask any of them, they didn't get rich worrying about the people. They didn't get rich worrying about anybody else. I think we all want to be rich at some level of this game, or we wanted to be at one point in life, or would love to be that point right now in life, but we're not there. And we'll judge the poor, we'll judge the rich, we judge the poor. We're a judgy nation. And that's our problem.
Gregory?
Yep, I agree with you again, B. But peace, prosperity, and love to all. Make America great again. And I don't understand how people don't see that vision. I told you, I believe this was ordained by the Most High, the Galactic Federation. No bull crap. So everything's going the way it's supposed to go. It's not gonna go bad.
Sean, what do you say?
I believe that it's not foolish to believe that a wise person would look out for the poor. There are those that are wealthy that do think about their fellow man, and there are those that, although you can never have too much money, but they they may feel like I have enough that I can make a sacrifice.
Did everybody get a chance to answer that question that wanted to?
My only rebuttal is that people don't have to become rich. You don't have to step over people or don't think about your fellow man to be rich. I mean, if you walking and following the steps that God ordained you to follow and living his principle, taking care of your neighbor and loving others as you love yourself and doing for others and taking care of the less fortunate, he's going to bless you abundantly. So you don't have to step on the smart, the little people per se. You don't have to drag them through the mud to get your riches. You don't have to do that. You can still love, you can still take care of the less fortunate and still be blessed abundantly.
All right, Tanya, I'm gonna stay with you. Question number 8. Question number 8. Proverbs states that a wise man searches for wisdom, but a fool searches for fools. Which of the two best describes the current president and his administration?
Well, I'm gonna say that a wise person seeks counsel, and the foolish person runs to do foolish things. He runs to do iniquities. He doesn't seek the counsel. So he's gonna run to like-minded people. He's not gonna run to seek counsel. The foolish run to the fools, the wise seek counsel. That's it.
Patsy?
I agree with Tanya. Wise people are going to seek a wiser person than themselves to figure out, is this the right thing to do, or could they do it better or something, and foolish people are going to seek other foolish people, be like, oh yeah, that's cool to do, da da da, when it might be just that it'd be a foolish thing to do anyways. So they're gonna seek foolish people to do foolish stuff with.
Itama?
Oh my goodness. Sometimes the food, you know, how can I say it? Like, yeah, they think they know so much that they, you know, end up doing foolish things and they think they're so smart, you know. Um, with that being said, um, I'm not, like I said earlier, I feel like it's both with him for certain situations, you know what I mean? Um, yeah. And like I said earlier, I can't comment too much on this man because, like I said, I don't follow him like that.
Honesty is the best policy. Let's go to the gentleman. All right, guys, turn your mics on. Bert, you with us?
Yep.
Proverb states that a wise man seeks wisdom, but a fool searches out fools. Which of the two best describes the current president and his administration?
I'm gonna split that. I think he's a wise fool.
Okay. Second time I heard that this evening.
Want me to bite at it?
Sure.
All right. I feel it's a little bit of both too. I'm gonna say he is the wise man that seeked out some rich fools. So he's manipulating the situation to um build his bank account.
Let's go to Gregory.
I thought he was doing all of this for free. Him and Elon. I thought Elon was sleeping in the White House or something like that. But I wouldn't call him a fool. I would call him wise because he knows that the council is working as a shadow government and the swamp needs to be drained.
Okay. Sean, what do you say?
He's wise in some of the foolish things that he is doing. That seems foolish to me. And what I mean by he's wise is that what he's doing now, he's had 12 years to master what he's putting into place as we speak. And so, what he has now is if you look at his administration of all the top positions, how many of them are just, if you will, they're not regular people, but I'm going to say regular people that aren't politicians. And so, because they're not politicians, they're not thinking on a political level, but they're definitely thinking on the level of, and I'm gonna keep saying that 1%, because they're up there in that upper echelon to where, in order for him to accomplish what he's accomplishing, there's going to be some bumps in the roads that we're going to feel, but they're going to be sitting pretty at the top.
I just have a additional comment to number 8. I want to know that when Robert said that he's wise, that he mean in the terms of wise men, like gangster, because all of these people that he has, he's basically using Elon for his money and putting Elon out there to do the dirty work so he could be in the back saying that he knew nothing about it, that he have his hands off of that. As far as the other politicians go, that he has in positions that are not politicians, like Sean said, that they're going to do whatever he want them to do to get the agenda. But as far as the politicians go, he's being a wise man by threatening them that he's going to use Elon. Him and Elon are threatening him that I'm gonna put money into a primary to primary you, and you're gonna lose your seat. So you need to do what we telling you to do anyway.
Y'all seen
Manipulation.
how that happened with how that went. Everybody that he tried to endorse lost. So
Drain the swamp. They're all fleeing, Uncle T.
So Tony, just to answer what you were saying, yeah, I was saying that he's in a sense you said gangster, and I said he's manipulating everything to work for him, and that's why he aligned himself with the money bags that is not politicians, and he's manipulating Elon to mess with the computers and switch some numbers up and down for him, and then so on.
let him cross Elon. Let him cross him. See what's gonna happen to him.
All right. We are going to move on to question number 9. Ladies, turn your mics on. Itima, we're going to come to you first. So get ready. And then we're going to go to Patsy and then Tanya. All right. Question number 9, Itima. As the foolish acts of America's would-be king and his court of fools alienated our allies, therefore emboldened our enemies. What do you say?
Yes.
Patsy, same question.
Yeah, I think that like him alienating our allies and friends is definitely giving our country's enemies courage to be bold against us.
Ain't nobody bringing it to us.
Not yet, but they planning.
I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna go even a step further that they voted against our allies in the UN and voted with our foes. So yes, Trump is aligning us up with the dictators of the world and going against the democracies of the world. We set the tone for the democracy. That's why we were the most powerful country, because we set the world order for democracy. And now they're trying to switch the democracy to autocracy as the world order. And that's how Trump sees himself. So he's aligning himself with the autocrats and to try to take down the democracies.
Bert, what do you say?
What's the question? Because I'm just processing everything everybody's saying. I don't
Okay.
even know what you're saying.
Okay. I'm going to give it to you again. Question number 9. As the foolish acts of the Americas would-be king and his court of fools alienated our allies, therefore emboldening its enemies.
I don't think we're emboldening enemies. Nobody's coming here to do anything to us with Trump in office because they know Trump ain't playing, may push the button if it has to come down to it. They know he's not scared and he's putting his foot down for our country to these other countries. Either step up and give us what you owe us, or we ain't messing with you no more. We need to stop worrying about the world and saving the world and save our own country.
Timmy?
He's never gonna be a king. He wants to be. That's why he rubbing elbows with dictators. And the good thing about America is we have the Constitution. And the Constitution says that he can run the country for the time he's president, but he would never ever be king where he's dominated like a Kim Jong or Putin. He's never going to be that. The, his own people in the United States, if not outside allies that he ruined relationships, wouldn't be trying to kill him.
Gregory,
Let me get the question again.
as the foolish acts of America's would-be king and his court of fools alienated our allies, therefore emboldened its enemies.
Even the question is a part of y'all fear-mongering tactic. It's crazy. It's liberal tears once again. First, y'all said the man was gonna be a dictator, and you watch and see, and now you're saying the would-be king. This is just nuts to talk about him this way, and he's not doing any of the stuff that you thought he was gonna do. Get what I'm saying? So, trade works both ways. If I'm trading with you and we're not giving each other equal parts back and forth, and somehow it seems like I'm giving you money and we're getting the short end of the stick, and then turn around. Look at Zelensky, whatever his name is. We just gave him over billions of dollars. The dude left our White House and was like, he demands America give him more money. What's going on? Who's being stepped on? Who's the little person in this situation? Make America great again. Pull it up by his bootstraps. Yeah.
My rebuttal to that is that Zelensky is not expecting to get anything from America. That's why he went and formed other
he
allies.
said it. He requested. He asked for more money. He was out of his goddamn cotton picking mind.
My other rebuttal is that this is a global economy.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you isolate the US,
Mm-hmm.
you are stunting our economy.
Mm-hmm.
The terrorism things has already got Wall Street, the stocks and stuff going on a free fall. Our dollar ain't gonna be worth jack shit in a little bit.
Once again,
There
trade
you
works
go.
both ways, back and forth. Whatever we're giving them, they was benefiting from it too. So if they're gonna try to make it seem like we're supposed to get down and lay down for them, no, that's not the way this is gonna work this time.
But the whole point is that they're going to get whatever they was getting from us, they're finding somewhere else.
They're not gonna get jack diddly.
We're not gonna be getting they're not gonna be getting anything from us. So we're not gonna be having any of that income, any of that money.
You just gotta wait back, sit back and let us watch and see that what you're saying is gonna play itself out.
Yeah.
You can't argue that. You just gotta wait for it to play itself out.
Yeah, you're right.
Because that's exactly what's happening.
John, you want to give us more of your perspective for the question?
Yes, sir. Because Tanya said a lot that I completely agree with, because that's what I was going to say. That shoot, just lost my thought. That that the world is not scared of America anymore.
Yeah.
Yet Trump is, and I'm gonna use this word. He's a bully, but if you ever watch what he does, he bullies our allies, but doesn't bully our enemies.
Well, who's America's enemy? America doesn't have any enemies.
Now you're really asleep.
Right?
Who's
You are
our
really
enemy?
asleep.
Who's our enemy?
You have got to be kidding me.
Don, you said it best. Love it. And if you don't see,
multiple politicians that have joint citizenship in all different types of countries. Who's our enemy?
Excuse me. Wait. Say that again. What did you just say?
We have multiple politicians with joint citizenships in different countries.
And that means
Multiple.
what? And that means what?
Who's our enemies? If we have so many enemies, how do we have these politicians that have joint citizenship? That don't make no sense.
Russia's our ally.
Do we
South
have problems
Korea.
with
South.
Russia? I
Hold
thought
on.
we were
Hold on. Hold on. Hold
superpowers.
on. Hold on.
I
Hold
thought we
on.
went
Hold on.
hand in hand.
What?
There
I
hasn't
thought
been
we were superpowers. We
no
went
no
hand
that
in hand.
that 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 went
If
out
something
with
went wrong in the world, we
no
wouldn't we?
no that no. Do your research. That went out a long time ago. That's not we no.
Uh,
Russia is not a superpower anymore.
Is America a superpower still?
You have to answer that question. Let's anybody else want a chance to answer question 9 before we move ahead? All right. Let me see. Each of you still with us?
Yeah.
All right, beloved. I'm gonna hit you with number 10. Okay, hold on one second. All right, last question of the night. Number 10. According to research, it is pointless to argue with a fool because it only results in frustration. You hear that? According to research, it is pointless to argue with a FOOL because it only results in frustration. Not theirs, but yours. Itzma, do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
Patsy, what do you say?
I agree. Because why would you want to be frustrated when um a foolish person is always going to question what your answer is? Each and every time you come up with something and be like, why? Like a 2-year-old. Why? Why? You say why and they asking why again. Because they foolish and they don't know no better.
Tanya, what do you say?
I'm just gonna say yes and leave it at that.
All right. Hold tight, ladies. Uh, let's go to Robert first. Robert,
I'm here. What's the question?
according to research, it is pointless to argue with a fool because you will end up frustrated. I think I gave it to you a different way, but that's the gist of it.
You did it. From my personal experience with this right here, I would say yes, you got to be a fool to argue with a fool because all it's gonna do is get you upset. So what I do now, when a fool want to cut up or argue, I say, "Oh no, my health won't allow me to do that," and I walk away.
All right. Timmy?
Like Sister Kiana said, can't make sense out of nonsense. So if you can't make sense out of it, don't bother.
Yeah, I like it.
mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to Bird next.
What happened? I stepped out the room for a minute.
According to research, it is pointless to argue with a fool because it only results in frustration.
Arguing with a fool only results in frustration.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you just said?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I agree. That's all I can say. No need to waste your breath, time, energy, stress, anything on a fool.
John, what do you say?
Bird said it best. And all you have is your facts, what you believe are the facts. And after that, you just got to stand on what you believe.
Okay. Gregory, it's on you.
Yeah, I think you're a fool to argue with anybody about anything, but it's okay to have a healthy debate. People are gonna disagree, agree to disagree.
Mm.
All right, does anybody
That's right.
else have anything else to add before I end the show? Going once, going twice. All right. I'm going to end the show with
Hold
this.
up, Dave. We didn't tell him about the sale. Could we tell him?
Please do.
All right. If you guys order tonight by midnight, you get an 80% off anything you buy in our store, EmporiumPlus.org.
What? 8080?
Yes, 80% off.
If you order by midnight.
If you order by midnight. You hear that, viewers? You sneak ear listeners, 80% off by 12 midnight. EmporiumPlus.org. April Fools, everyone.
I knew you had to be a fool I was waiting for the rest of
I
it.
was about to say this is a joke.
But
Yeah, because this ain't even gonna air right now. It's gonna be a couple of days.
Going to give me a couple of belts for $1.
that you got to be a fool to believe that first off. All right, let me go. Let me go on and end this show. All right.
Well, I was a fool because I was about to go order.
Well, you don't have to be
Mama ain't
foolish.
raised no goddamn fools around here.
You don't have to be
Goddamn it.
foolish to go place an order, but it won't be that 80%, but it will be the family discount.
That's what it is. You can't take back. No take sees back sees. You already made that thing.
That's an Indian giver. That's an Indian giver.
Yeah, the other part of that is Robert forgot to tell y'all anything the store don't cover, just call him. He gonna pay out of pocket.
Exactly.
All right, so let me go on and end this show. All right, so I'm gonna hit y'all with some Buddhism. All right. A frustrated man went to Buddha. He said, Buddha, how do you deal with the foolishness of a stupid person? And Buddha said to him, just tell them that they are right about all things. The man then replied, Buddha, that is a BS answer. And Buddha replied, you are right. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.